I went to the factory on many occasions and looked in there and watched them building these machines. In fact, I saw this one being built in the day. They were well and truly outside, something I could afford back in the day. And to be honest, I can't really afford this one, but you know what it's like. Yeah. I'm Jason Overland, and I drive this 1988 Giocattolo. So, in my early 20s, my mates and I, we were all car guys, running around in tatty old Alphas and so forth. You'd always hear these stories about, they were testing the Gioccattolos last night. You could hear them, you could see them. Oh, they were up Sugarbag Road. They were doing warp speed, and they were a mythical creature, in town here. So it was quite exciting to actually see them. You'd go for a drive on a Sunday, and there'd be one parked up somewhere, and I'd break out my box brownie and snap up a few photographs. So they were a supercar in the sense that you couldn't really afford to buy one, and they were made with exotic materials and lots of technology which wasn't in the cars that we were driving at the time. Never contemplated that I'd have the opportunity to own one, but I was contacted by a good friend of mine who told me about one that was for sale. So I took my wife down with me and borrowed everything I could, and I brought it back, and I pulled it apart in the first instance to get it driving again, and of course it was 40 degrees, no air conditioning, the windows wouldn't go down, some of the sound deadening was there, had no carpets, and it was really just a run up the road because I couldn't help myself. So that inspired me to get in and do the job properly. So I've comprehensively optimised everything that's in the car now. The gentleman who designed it really had his thing together, and as a total package, it's really quite well balanced. I know it has lots of horsepower. It's been on the dyno, but I don't know that it's a whole lot faster than a lot of supercars these days. But it's really just the way it makes you feel driving it. Mid-engine, old school sound, clutch, gearbox. The stuff that you don't find in a lot of modern cars.
I'm Barry Locke. I was the design engineer behind this Giocattolo, and I was, along with Paul Halstead, instrumental in getting it to this stage. My motor racing involvement started with McLarens, and I spent nigh on 6 years with them, and during which time we did Can-Am, Formula 2, Formula 1, and it was a truly glorious period, of course, period of innovation and yet engineering excellence. So my background in terms of engineering was very heavily influenced by McLarens, which means good solid engineering and not quite as much innovation as some people, although this one was innovative to some extent. We used some of the latest materials and so on, so there was an element of that even so, but primarily good engineering. That was the basis. The Giocattolo was different, of course, to race car stuff. Up until that stage, the only minor involvement that I had was with the original McLaren GT car, and that was a road car. And so this presented a whole new set of challenges, and in so doing, it was a wild ride, all right, and so much fun, just so much fun. It was primarily Paul's idea as such, but then between the two of us, the toing and froing, which was of course necessary to filter it through to this stage, where we selected the Alfa Romeo Sprint as being the donor car as such, but that was primarily so too because we didn't want to go through all the agony of door hinges and the door locks and the surrounds and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't just simply that we didn't have the capability, it's just that there was things like that which were already done for us, and it was an area that we could just simply take from the market and then build upon it with our own suspension to some extent, not entirely, but our own suspension and engineering, along with, at the time, initially, a Alfa Romeo V6, and then we moved on from there to the Holden, of course, and that's what it's really known for now. Yeah, the unique aspects of the engine that we run in the Giocattolo is that, of course, it's got the twin throttle body arrangement, and so therefore the plenum is unique also. And the whole assembly on the front of the engine, of course, has been designed to fit within the confines of the Giocattolo engine area. So we had to change many things from the Walkinshaw type setup, and so it really has its own ancillaries, its own induction system, and in fact we had our own cams. We had what else was there? There was the engine finished up being unique to Giocattolo, and as I understand it nowadays, the Holden Walkinshaw people are very keen to run this sort of engine in their Walkinshaws, which is interesting. It was always real fun.
I don't plan to modify it or change it in any way whatsoever. I really want to experience it in the way that it was designed, or as close to the way it was built and designed, with all its faults and niggles and so forth. I'm 100% happy with it the way it is. Yeah, I won't be touching it. I think they got it right.